Hey guys, so today I'm going to be recording how I found out I was pregnant, and it's a crazy story and one that I'm gonna remember forever. So yeah, let's just get on into it. And if you see me like looking around or hearing Aline in the background, she's right here playing right next to me, so don't mind her. Thank you. Can I have them? Okay, here. Okay, so a week before, I think it was New Year's, a week before New Year's, I had a doctor's appointment to get a new prescription on my birth control. And at the time, I was taking the pill, the trusty old pill. It did not work. No, I'm just kidding. I was in between the pills, and I think I was like off of them for maybe a week, maybe half a week. And in order to get a new prescription, you have to have your annual physical. And at the time, I was working for a doctor's office, so I was just gonna go see the doctor that like I worked with, because it was a primary care doctor's office that I worked for. And I made the appointment, and this was a week before New Year's. Like I said, I was 20. Like, backtrack to 2 weeks before, maybe a month before, my periods were super weird. I had been like 2 to 3 weeks late, and I remember I told my mom, and I was like, Mom, like, I'm so late. Like, what if I'm pregnant? And she was like, no, you're not. And I ended up getting my period, but it only lasted for 3 days, and it was like super light. But I was like, oh my God, Lord, thank you. But I had gotten it, and I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I'm not pregnant. Like, no grandbabies from me, girlfriend. Yeah. So it was the day for the doctor's visit, and I think it was on a lunch of one of my shifts, and I went to the doctor, and he did my physical, and I told him about my periods, because he had asked like about all that, because you have to make sure you're not pregnant in order to get like another round of birth control. And since I worked there, I was like, oh, like, save me the test. I don't want it like just prescribe me more, you know? And he was like, no, I want you to take a pregnancy test just to make sure like you're not pregnant, because that last period was really weird. I was like, doctor, like, I'm pretty sure I'm not pregnant. Like, I know, like, I feel fine, I'm normal. Like, no, I'm not pregnant. And he made me take a pregnancy test, but I didn't take it. I think I was in a rush to go home or something, and I didn't take it until the next time I worked. So it was New Year's, and we had it off. That night, me and Alex went to my cousin's to party and celebrate the new year with family, and we were drinking a lot that night, like excessive drinking, and that's all I remember. Like, God, that's all I remember. No, yeah. January 2nd, I had worked. That was my next shift, and I worked with my friend that day, my coworker. And I told her, and I was like, girl, like, I have to take a pregnancy test in order to get my next birth control. Like, and she's like, just take it right now. Like, nobody's here. We don't have any patients. And I was like, okay. It was like 7:30 in the morning. And I went to go take the pregnancy test in the restroom, and it came back positive. And I was just like if I got slapped in the face so hard, because I was literally telling the doctor, like, I'm not pregnant. Like, I know I'm not pregnant. I started crying. Like, I was crying so bad. And it's not because I, like, at the time, I wasn't thinking about, like, oh, this is such a blessing. Like, I'm so blessed and grateful that I can bring another life into this world, and that I'm able to have such a beautiful blessing in my life. So grateful. I was just kidding. But at that time in my life, that's not that was not in the books for me. Like, I wasn't in the plan. I was 20. I was going to school for nursing, and it just wasn't a plan that I had for myself. So I was crying, and then I went back to my desk. She sees stuff that she can't play with. Right, mama. I went back to my desk, and I was crying, obviously, and I told her, I was like, oh my God, like, I'm pregnant. And she was the first person I told. And I was crying, and I was like, I cannot work like this. Like, I'm gonna be checking in patients and like, what's your last name? So I went to the doctor that gave me my physical, and I was crying, and I was like, look, the test came out positive. And he was like, oh my God. He's like, well, take the day off. I'm gonna write you like a doctor's note. And so I left it on I'm pretty sure I left it on my boss's desk. I didn't even tell her anything. I don't even think she was in yet. And I like left. And then I called Alex crying. I was like, oh my God, like, I'm pregnant. I hate you. I don't remember what I told him, but I remember he thought I was kidding. Like, he's like, whatever, dude. Like, well, whatever, stop playing. Like, I'm your baby mama. Shut up. Yeah, that was so crazy. That's how I found out I was pregnant. And then I called my mom, and like, I had a lot of support. Like, everybody was my backbone. Like, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that my family like stood behind me through everything, helped me with everything. I had a really hard pregnancy, and if you want to like separate video on that, because that's a whole hour in itself. But I'm very thankful that I had my family to support me, and they never bashed me for being pregnant at a young age. Yeah, that's how I found out I was pregnant. Hey guys, so I forgot to film an outro, but thank you so much for watching. Make sure to leave a comment down below, and see you next time.